everyone. Welcome to week 5 of Pine Tree Programming. Today, we're turning our microbits into communication devices. Students are going to send messages through the air, just like real wireless technology. But in order for that to work, everything has to be set up correctly. Start your lesson with this question for the students. What could go wrong if everyone is on the same radio channel? Give them a minute to think and share. You're looking for ideas like messages getting mixed up, devices receiving messages not meant for them, or communication breaking down completely. After shoot and stare, bring it together by saying, today, we're going to solve that problem by learning how to control how our microbits communicate.
Now we move into the guided build, and this is really important. Students should follow along with you step by step and not jump ahead. First, we need to set up the radio. Have students go to the radio category. If they don't see it, have them check underneath the advanced drawer. They should drag the radio set group to 1 and place it inside the on start. Now, this block is required. If students forget it, their microbits will not be able to communicate with each other. Next, we'll send a message. Have students go to input and drag the on button A pressed input button onto the workspace. Then go to radio and place radio send number 0 inside that block. Change that number to 7. Explain to students when I press button A, I'm sending the number 7 through the air. Now, at the start of this lesson, you have a lot of different visuals in the slide deck that might help you to portray this idea to your students.
Now that we can send a message, we need the microbit to receive one. Have students go to the radio category and drag on radio received number. Then go to basic and add show number 0 inside that block. Next, replace the 0 with the received number oval. This is a key moment. Explain clearly that this oval means whatever number was sent to me. Once that's built, stop and test. This step is critical. Students need to download their code onto 2 microbits. When they press A on one device, the other device should display 7. If it doesn't work, have students check 3 things. Both devices are on the same radio group, the code is downloaded to both, and they are pressing button A. You'll also notice that the letter N in received number is capital. This is critical to understanding because instead of using spaces, code uses no spacebar, but it capitalizes the second letter. Make sure that your students have the N capitalized or you may have problems with your code.
Now we introduce the idea of channels. In this week's lesson material, especially the slide deck, you will find lots and lots of visuals to help you explain this idea to your students. Have students add on button A pressed from the inputs, but change A to B. Inside that block, they should place from the radio column, radio set group 1, but change the number 1 to a 2 to make a second radio group or a second channel. Then add show number 2 so they get visual feedback when they switch channels. Explain to students at this point, now, when I press button B, I switch to a new channel. Test this together. Have one student press button B, then try sending messages again. Students should notice that messages stop working unless both devices are on the same group. This helps them understand why channels matter and why they will be creating radio groups or channels. At this point, once everything is working, students should be ready to move on.
Now students move into the challenge portion where they become secret agents. First, have them create their own message system by changing the numbers they send. You can suggest examples like 1 means yes, 2 means no, or 7 means help. Next, have them add another message using a different button, like button B or A and B at the same time. Finally, encourage them to improve their program. This could mean sending multiple messages or experimenting with different ideas. This is a great time to let students explore and problem solve while you circulate and support.
So to wrap up the lesson, bring the class together for the secret agent activity. Or you may wish to have them continue working in pairs or in small groups, maybe 3. Explain to students that they are now turning numbers into secret messages. Introduce a simple code key, such as 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for hello, and 4 for goodbye. Students can use your key that we provide in this lesson plan, or create your own as you know your students best, or have your students create their own. Again, you know your students best. Then have partners send messages and decode them using their shared key, back and forth, using numbers. In the end of the lesson, there are multiple extension activities. Some are a little easier and some are a little harder. So for example, right now they're doing show number. They could do show string for messages or show icon. They could do that as well. Incorporate on shake to clear the screen. They could incorporate upon receipt. If I receive a 1, then show this icon or show this message, show string. Else, show this message or show string or show this icon. Or they could even incorporate sounds from this sound box or sound drawer. There are also links to other radio projects and videos in the slides for this week. Students may like, for example, the transportation duck mission. It seems pretty fun where they're transporting a duck around to different people. So yeah, it's whatever you see fit for your students this week and whatever helps you in the lesson materials. To close out the lesson, bring students back together and say, today you built a real communication system. Make the real world connection by explaining that, just like phones and Wi-Fi, devices need rules like channels and shared signals to communicate correctly. Otherwise, we get static. Before ending, remind yourself of a few key troubleshooting tips. And also, there's a bunch in the slide deck. Always include radio set group number. And they can have a number from 0 to 255. So they can really, you might also want to assign group numbers and to ensure that they don't cross in the classroom, but that's a great problem-solving approach too. So make sure both devices match group numbers. Use 2 devices for testing, and if nothing works, it's usually the group number that's set incorrectly, so they're not talking to each other. Have fun with it, and we'll see you in the next lesson.